So I'll just get right into it. I'm a 27-year-old guy now. Now, when I was at least 5 years old, I remember because I was still living in my parents' apartments when I was this age and we moved when I was 5 years old for the first time, I had this experience or memory, I'll need help deciding which to really stand behind after hearing some input, of myself laying in bed in my own bedroom in broad daylight. I don't remember waking up. I have always remembered this since it happened in no little detail as this. I've not lost details or parts of this since then because it was so traumatic. Anyways, I was laying there in bed and I don't have any memory of waking up or going to lay down in there, just simply awake in my room. From the point of being awake I then had this dreadful feeling in my core. I then saw out of the corner of my eye, my vertically hanging blinds, the kind that sort of sway side to side basic and off-white apartment blinds, were moving with no breeze in the room, and between them I noticed these small figures completely motionless like statues standing there, but the blinds weren't moving enough to show their full figure and it was about 10 feet away from bed, so I couldn't make out clear faces between the movement of the blinds and the sunlight shining through, casting shadow on the figures' fronts facing me. I then saw what looked like small elf hats. I know what I saw and just said, and I am no exaggerator or kind of person to make up stories, sliding slowly up the window leaving a seemingly slimy/gooey trail under them as they went upwards. This upset and disturbed me so deeply on a core level at the tender age of 5 I didn't know what to make of it besides fear and confusion, not understanding how what I'm seeing is possible. I then in about 2 seconds after that decide in the moment to close my eyes from fear of seeing some kind of jump scare or terrible face next, let alone the chilling thought of one of them coming at me. I close my eyes and I hear laughing. Laughing behind my head where my wall is and nothing else. I hear it inside my head like someone talking to me outside my head in my ears. But it only stops when I open my eyes. Mischievous, childlike but not human laughter. Like fae. Or fairies. I did not know about supernatural or paranormal/folklore at this age. I was so scared to hear that impossible laughter again by simply closing my eyes that I yell out scared and stunned to my parents, who for some reason either would not hear me or would not come to my calls of distress no matter how loud. I am stunned with fear of helplessness laying in my bed. I don't know what else to do as I am scared to move. I look over just to look around and check my surroundings, and I see to my left, not 3 feet from my bed in my closet in front of my toy chest, a roughly 8-inch figure that looks like it's made completely of green wax. And take my word for this and take it seriously, it looked like Dumbledore or just a generic wizard with the hat and robes, completely motionless, but I knew this wasn't one of my toys from closet. No, I'd never seen this or anything like this in my little life before, but there it was just existing in front of me. I was so horrified at this point I muster up all of my willpower to get up and jump as far as I can out of my bed to my doorway leading to my parents' room just feet away through the hallway. They aren't in their room, they aren't in the living room or kitchen. Somehow, someway at 5 I was alone experiencing these things in my house in a matter of minutes. I don't know why they would leave me alone or not tell me they were leaving or taking me with. I sit on my couch in the living room and wait for them to come back from their absence. Then, the weirdest and most unexplainable part happens that to this day completely baffles me even now after knowing about supernatural/paranormal/folklore and fantasy and cryptids. I cannot explain why or how this would happen, but bubbles like from a bubble blower start coming out from behind, not inside of my TV in the living room. I look behind it and they stopped coming from thin air. Gone. And then this is the end of this, what I have no doubt is a memory. No memory after the bubbles. On a final note, I searched for something similar to description of this a couple years ago and I came up with what are called a Hispanic type of creature called duende. I am free to discussion and investigation.